all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year?
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of 2-for-1 Nation podcast. I'm one of your hosts, obviously, SC Raiders Talk, man, aka your boy Eric, and RaiderTwuan will join us in just a bit. He's running a little late, but you know, we'll be here holding it down, man. But shout out to everybody that's in here so far. Blessed to see you guys and your families. And good to see you guys, man. Hopefully you guys this week is going good. And thank God for some news, right? Some news broke down today, and I don't know if you guys have seen what I ended up pretty much publishing earlier is a YouTube short on my thoughts of what happened today. I don't know if you guys have seen the Ian Rappaport tweet, but we're going to talk about that just right now. Some important news about the draft. Before I get straight into that, let me shout out everybody that's in here, man. Robert Penna in the building. What's good, Robert Penna? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Raider Way was good. Salute. Raider Resistance. Perez, my boy Perez was good. Daniel Berry was good. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to Lake Show Raider. Dope intro, my G. I appreciate it, man. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to my boy Perez, man. You already know he made my my ideas come to life. You feel me? Shout out to everybody in here, man. Shout out to my 2 cents. What's good, my 2 cents? Hope all is well. SoCal Sal, good to see you in the building. Eric Raiders Haters Hunter, Erica Channel, what's good? Good to see you, man. And hopefully I didn't skip anybody, man. But shout out everybody that's here so far. Shout out to Raider Biggs. What's good, Raider Biggs? What's good, Raider Biggs? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody though, man. Shout out to everybody, man. There's a lot of things to talk about. Even though it's one topic, that blooms a lot of conversations, man. So if you guys missed it today, Ian Rappaport came out with some news, some very important news that has to do with the top 3 picks, specifically the 2nd and the 3rd pick, which is the Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots. Which, let me actually share my screen for you guys so you guys could actually see the tweet on what he said specifically. Let me pop it up for you guys real quick. Let me do this. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me fix this real quick. But besides that, shout out to everybody coming in real quick, man. Good to see everybody, man. Here we go. Here's the tweet. So I don't know if you guys have seen it at all. This is the Ian Rappaport tweet from earlier. As you can see here, he says, #Commanders, GM Adam Peters, which obviously their general manager, talked to reporters today saying, we feel great about staying at number 2. Don't see a lot of scenarios where we trade down. So, obviously, there's some things to break down here. We knew that trading up to Washington was difficult. We already know other teams were supposed to trade up to number 2. Now it seems more or less likely that it would happen, right? So shout out to everybody coming in, man. El Capitan Rafucho, good to see you. Where's Twuan? Twuan's coming up in a bit. I don't know the time, but he will be here. He's running a little late, he said. But he will be here. But shout out to everybody coming in, man. Tired of hearing all this Jaden Daniels talk all over the internet. Just don't want all the fans going crazy when they see it's just a pipe dream. Trap God, there's things to pretty much go about it and stuff like that, but it's a talking point because at the end of the day, it's a possibility. Am I hyped? No, because I know that it's pretty much a 50-50. But what I will say is I wouldn't care about the scenario that we go to. I think that we're going to make the right decision. I really have more belief in this regime than I have before. And it's very exciting but nerve-wracking, right? Shout out to Chappie Boss. Was cracking, fam? Chappie Boss in the house. Can I get a big rare? What's good, Chappie Boss? Good to see you. Hope all is well, man. But I think I got my co-host backstage. He looks like he's on the road though. I want to see if he's ready because it's lagging a little backstage. He has to fix a little bit of that internet. But shout out to everybody coming in, man. Um, let's bring out my co-host, man. You guys have some of you guys have said, "Where's Twuan, man?" Well, he's here backstage, man. You already know the other half of the 2 for 1 Nation podcast. He looks like he's on the road, so bear with him. My boy here, RaiderTwuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, what's good? How y'all doing today? I'm moving and grooving. I definitely pull up for the show. Two brothers for one nation. Y'all know it's the Raider Nation.
Well, Twat, I know it's a little delayed on your end, but you're lagging just a little bit. It's like a little it's like a robot E. We're gonna try to make it work, but we could hear you. You feel me? And he's out. He's fixing the stuff. He's gonna fix his stuff. Shout out to everybody coming in though. Good to see everybody. But obviously the number 2 pick is pretty much set in stone. Washington is most likely going to go with the quarterback. And the Jaden Daniels rumors to Commanders has been picking up a lot of steam. Shout out to Cool Kev in the bit. What up, Cool Kev? Good to see you. Hope all as well. There's a lot of steam. The train is rolling. The train's going down the trail of the Jaden Daniel trains to Commanders. A very interesting talking point there. Now knowing that the number 2 spot is practically secured and we know Chicago's not going to move out, that means 1 and 2 is sticking with the quarterback. The question is, will Jaden Daniels fall or will he stay at number 2? That's the biggest question of them all. Obviously, there was another tweet that happened that had to do with both GMs, not just the Washington GM. There was also a thing about the Patriots. Elliot Wolf, their general manager, came out and said that they are open in the first round or any round. Pretty much saying they are open for business for the draft pick there. Of course, he said that today, according to Ian Rappaport. If the answer is picking one of the top 4 quarterbacks at number 3, I think we'd be comfortable with it. So they're open business, and they're also saying that if they don't get no trade down, they're cool with picking one of the top 4 quarterbacks, which is interesting because the general manager said top 4 quarterbacks. Now, when I think of top 4, I already know automatically top 3 quarterbacks, right? Obviously, on pretty much everybody's list, some people are different, but the general consensus of the draft picks have been, or the quarterback rankings have been, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May. Who's that 4th quarterback that New England got their eye on? I personally think it's JJ McCarthy. I think it's JJ McCarthy for the Patriots there, in my opinion, right? I think it's JJ McCarthy. And I'm thinking of it as a New England side of it. I think it's the Patriots. Let me get him back in here. Twuan, you hear us, Twuan?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on?
We better. We good. You good?
Okay,
what's
for
good,
sure.
man?
Hey, I can't complain, man. I'm excited about getting these groceries, man. It's about time for us to get these groceries.
Yep. And shout out to everybody coming in, man. I see Eric Raiders Hater Hunter saying, what would you rather do? Trade up for JD5 for about 6 picks or Penix at 13, keep your picks and get the other positions you need in the draft covered? I'm gonna give you that question, Twuan. What you think? What would you do?
Hey, you guys already know. You guys kind of know what time I'm on. I like Jaden Daniels. You know what I'm saying? Let's put that for record. But I'm not up to wasting hella capital just to go get one guy. There's a whole bunch of things that we need to address and build out this team. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you've talked about it. You know what I'm saying, for the past 2 weeks. That pretty much what the way that the roster is looking, we need to fill out this roster because there's going to be expiring contracts in 2025 and also 2026. So wasting all that capital to go get a guy is not worth it. And also sitting here thinking about it, we also have to be honest with ourselves and look at it like this too. Is it even worth drafting a quarterback if that quarterback's not going to be the guy for us, what I'm saying, the franchise guy for us years to come? What I'm saying? Does it make sense for us to go, what I'm saying, get a Rattler knowing that he's not going to end up being our, what I'm saying, franchise guy? Is it just to draft a quarterback?
Yeah.
So it depends on who they bring in, what I'm saying. And I've also said too, in regards to Jaden Daniels, you know, if he's sliding, what I'm saying, that's really our guy, then yeah, you can go go up and go get him. But I'm not going all the way up to 3 or 2 and mortgaging the whole house to go get him.
I also think the similar way. I think the thing is I don't think it's gonna take 6 picks, but it's still gonna be costly. I think I kind of did this on one of my videos. I don't know if you guys have checked that out. It's one of my videos that I've made recently. It's about trading up, and what I broke down is pretty much the Trey Lance trade. We're seeing a lot of players leave teams for a bag of chips. We've seen Christian McCaffrey go for a bag of chips. We've seen Roquan Smith go for a bag of chips, and we could continue. We've seen Justin Fields go for a bag of chips. We could keep going down the line of everybody that's gone for a bag of chips. But that's players, veteran players, players that are already pretty much established on what talent they bring to the NFL. As far as NFL draft, it's been consistently every single year being a higher price every year in order to trade up into the top 3 and top 5. And you may ask, why is that happening? Why isn't that happening with players around the league? Well, that's because everybody knows that the younger generation, the generation of pretty much my age, right? I'm 22. These guys are 21, 22, 23. They are the future of every single team. And that's just what it is. And that's how much each team values it. And the Trey Lance trade took 3 first-round picks in order to move up there. And it wasn't even guaranteed that he was going to come out good. And he left for a bag of chips of a 4th-round pick. So that's the other consensus of it. And that's where I'm at. Jaden Daniels is a hell of a talent. I know some people don't like him, but for me, he's a guy that fits the Raiders so perfectly. Why? Because he has that connection with Arizona State, with Antonio Pierce. He has that connection with Jack Jones. He also already has high praise from all these Raider players like Max Crosby and all these guys talking about him. Everybody likes Jaden Daniels, but the problem is the draft capital that it would take. The Raiders right now are a team that is borderline playoff team. And some may say borderline playoff team. Well, you got to think about last year, y'all. We went 3-1 against AFC West opponents with Antonio Pierce, with the rookie quarterback and a rookie offensive coordinator. Whether you want to say that the defense won the game or not, we still won those games. And we beat the Chiefs. We were the last team to beat the Chiefs. So at the end of the day, we're a borderline borderline playoff team. And all we need is some pieces to make this borderline playoff team a playoff contender. What players, what positions do you guys think? Obviously quarterback, but even quarterback, we look pretty good at quarterback, y'all. People are not giving AOC or Gardner Minshew any credit, but Gardner Minshew, such a veteran, a guy that could win you games. His numbers don't lie when he starts. Then you have obviously an up-and-coming rookie in AOC, which, say what you got to say, this guy is the same guy that pretty much didn't have a full off season last season, had a horrible head coach right under him, had a horrible offensive coordinator, and had a not so decent offensive line. Who knows what would happen with another thing, right? I'm not saying he's gonna become Tom Brady or something, but I will say that he has the potential to be there. So our quarterback room is looking nice. Now you go on to whatever rookie we bring in, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, whatever the case may be. If it's Michael Penix, Bo Nix, I think they will sit behind or try to fight for a starting spot, but I think they will sit behind for a couple games. And if AOC or Gardner Minshew doesn't work, boom, you got a rookie that has so much potential that is learning. But besides that, obviously, I'm cool with whatever way, because at the end of the day, we're getting better. We're already better with the free agent signings, believe it or not. We're already better, and everybody thinks we're going to have the worst season of them all. Did people forget the second half of the season last year? But before I get to you, Twuan, shout out to everybody.
And
Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna shout out everybody coming in real quick. Vic3, good to see you. Long time no see. Good to see you, Vic3. Robert Davila in the building. It's going to be an O-line, man. Hey, I would be cool with it, man. Fuaga, I've been raving about Fuaga. AOC going to start coming up 2024 and Gardner. Okay, Robert, I like that, man. Shout out to All Eyes on G, my brother. What's good? Good to see you, Raider Biggs. We overvalue first round picks. Look at Rams. They trade picks for proven players, and it got them a chip. Bet they don't regret trading those picks. That's another one too, Raider Biggs. That's the other consensus of it, right? Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Good to see everybody in here, man. And I'll get to more of the obviously the comments later. But Twuan, go ahead.
Yeah, and to that statement of the Rams, it's and that's the question that we're going to have to ask ourselves too. Do we want to be that team that's going to be a one-hit wonder, or are we going to be a team that's going to stick around for a while? And when you start looking at certain teams that have been competitive, like you want to say the Rams, they hit once, and then what happened to them? You know what I'm saying? Have they been floating around in Super Bowl contentions? Not really. You know what I'm saying? So you have a situation in which, you have to look at how teams were built. You look at the Niners, you look at the Eagles, you look at even in our conference, we look at the Chiefs. A team and all those teams were fully built out. They drafted well. They retained their players, and because they did that, what happens to them almost every year? They find themselves always in the hunt for the Super Bowl. So those are the options that you're gonna have. You want to hit it once, or you want to stay in the ballpark for a few years, where you have a chance, like the Chiefs and like the Niners, have that chance at the Super Bowl multiple times. That's what we have to ask ourselves. So there's certain ways. There's plenty of ways to go about it and go around it. But that's how we're going to have to build out this team. And I'm excited, like you are, Eric. I think we've already improved this team, and we're only going to improve it even more with the draft.
Facts. And I see Chappie Boss say here, which he brings up a good point, and this actually brings me to another point, right? We ain't paying Minshew 18 guarantee, 425 to draft the rookie quarterback. Been saying this. Now, we sign him. Let's go for production, a cornerback and running back. Let's go. And here's the thing with that, Chappie Boss, and I'm glad you brought that up, man. When it comes to Gardner Minshew, when you look at his contract is not for backup money, y'all. It is not at all. That's for a guy that's gonna come in here and say, "Hey, I'm gonna come for that starting spot," and that's what we need. That's gonna make AOC better. That's gonna make whatever rookie quarterback comes in better, and that's gonna make even him better at the age he is. He's a veteran guy that wins games, and let's be honest, y'all. When he played for the Colts recently, he made Michael Pittman have one of his best seasons of his career, and not only that, break records in that. Don't you think Devontae Adams is looking at that and being like, "Damn, Gardner Minshew, okay, a veteran guy that could give me the ball"? Hey, at the end of the day, bro, we got quarterbacks on this team that have the potential to win us games. People forget that, believe it or not, the Raiders went through a lot of stuff last season, right? We got rid of Josh McDaniels, and who would have known, right? Who would have known if Antonio Pierce was the coach since the beginning of last year? You guys think we would have won more games? I think we would have won at least 2 games more, 100%. I think 2 games more, because the problems with the games we lost is lack of effort. People didn't want to play no more, and you could see the effort. People didn't want to play no more. And just imagine if Antonio Pierce was there from the start and no Jimmy G at all. We would have won 2 more games and possibly been on the verge of a playoff. I'm not saying we would have won a playoff game, but I would have said on the verge of a playoff. So at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing, y'all. I see some people out here saying if we don't get Jaden Daniels, we're going to lose so many games. If we do this, we're going to lose so much. Guys, we're better. And I know other teams got better, but we got better. That's all we can ask for, right? Um,
You can clearly look at just the quarterback room that we currently have right now and say that it's better from what we had last year. You know what I'm saying, with Jimmy G and Brian Hoyer. You know what I'm saying? Like as much as people don't talk about it, the Anthony, I forget, I think it's Anthony Richardson or whatever. He ain't no slouch either, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that he's gonna be a starter, but he might make some noise, you know what I'm saying, in the preseason, coming up, and have something to say about who we putting out there, you know what I'm saying, under center. And we need to be, I think we need to be okay with that. I think we need to be fine with that. And with the Minshew situation, that is, you know what I'm saying, in the contractual situations, he is a 1 year rental. So, I'm not going to be mad at that either. But if he's out there, he's obviously going to be the best man for the job. And I think what we saw with under Coach Antonio Pierce, I think what we have, I think is going to be just be ready for it. Just get ready for it, because it's going to be it's going to surprise us in a good way. I'll say it like that.
Facts, man. This is a good podcast, Nation. I appreciate that, Robert. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Now that the Patriots are open to trading, I think the Vikings trade up for a quarterback. Vikings are a team that would go up, right? Are we really confident in a loaded AFC with young elite quarterbacks? We got to go through Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Stroud, Jackson, Lawrence. Are we picking AOC or Minshew, really? Well, here's the counter to that, right? We beat Mahomes with AOC, even though AOC didn't really do nothing. He had 62 yards, right? And didn't really throw the ball well. We still beat him, right? We still beat Mahomes in the last thing, right? Who would have known we would have done that, right? Everybody counted us out at Christmas. Even our own fan base said we were gonna absolutely get destroyed that game. We ended up winning, right? Burrow, he's been going through injury problems. Is he really gonna stay healthy the whole season? And when healthy, he's a good quarterback. Herbert, we always go 1-1 with Herbert, right? We always go 1-1 with Herbert. Stroud's a heck of a quarterback, a very young, talented quarterback. I wouldn't call him elite quarterback yet, but I will say he's a really good quarterback right now and has a lot of promise still, man. And the fact that he did that in his 1 year and they're building something over there now, gave him Stephon Diggs, he's going to have a hell of a season. And then obviously Lamar Jackson, another guy that is really goddamn good with his feet, throws, getting better by the minute. And then Lawrence, believe it or not, Minshew in his 2 years of starting has better numbers than Trevor Lawrence. So, if we're really going to bring out, a little bit of a stats, Minshew has better numbers than Lawrence. So, I get the whole quarterback talk and elite quarterbacks and all this stuff, man. But what beats an elite quarterback? Defense. And who was the exact blueprint of that? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even though they had Tom Brady, even though they had the GOAT of all quarterbacks, you could say, in the NFL of all time, Shaquille Barrett, Vita Vea, some names that made Patrick Mahomes run more than Usain Bolt and beat him. So, in reality, a good defense could do that. Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm pretty much done. I was just gonna say a good defense beats that.
Hey, I'll jump right in on that. Like, since when did Brock Purdy become Patrick Mahomes? You know what I'm saying? And I say that in the sense of how is the Niners built? They're a defensive team, and I think we also also us in Raider Nation, we need to understand that our identity has changed. We were an offensive team, but now we're a defensive team. And that's how we're going to end up winning games. It's not going to be solely on the arm of our quarterback. Yes, our quarterback's going to have to not F up and you know what I'm saying, not throw the game away, but it's going to be solely on our defense. That's what's going to help us going against Mahomes and all those other guys in our division. So yeah, I think the yeah, we do need a reliable quarterback, but it's not where, we're not going to be solely relying on our quarterback's play. It's really going to be on how, if the defense can keep it low, and then we can just, do what we need to do on the offensive side of the ball. And I think O'Connell and Gardner Minshew will be able to do enough to get that done. You know what I'm saying? That I still, as much as people want to say, like, I still don't believe in Brock Purdy, but because Brock Purdy had a defense behind him and all the pieces around him, that's what made him who he was. And again, where did Brock Purdy end up going? He ended up going to the Super Bowl. So I think that's I think that's really the blueprint for us and I kind of a indicator of where we could possibly get to, what I'm saying, if our defense stays consistent and improves, and then we just, again, get this offense down with Getsy. So
Shout out to Spicy. What up, Spicy? Good to see you. Hope all is well. But yeah, obviously, here's the thing. I will say something about the quarterback position. It is one of the most important positions in the whole. That's no doubt about it. And I do feel like there are better quarterbacks in the league, obviously, than what we got right now. It's obvious. It's 100%. I ain't disagreeing. I ain't going against it. It's obvious.
mhm.
We got to be realistic sometimes, right? And I will say that sometimes when it's crunch time, we need quarterbacks that could execute and win you a game. And we've seen it in the Super Bowl time and time again. Brock Purdy had a team behind him, but when it came to him specifically, he couldn't win the game. Jimmy Garoppolo a couple years back couldn't win the game. Jimmy Garoppolo again, they couldn't win for us, right? Well, he did win, but he kind of had a horrible season himself. But at the end of the day, a good quarterback, there's a difference between a good quarterback and a bad quarterback. A bad quarterback doesn't succeed and doesn't really win at crunch time, and then a good quarterback does. And we need that quarterback. Right now, we have a potential guy that has a high potential in AOC that could do the job. And then we also have Gardner Minshew that has won games in his career and has a good stat line as a backup quarterback that people call him, right? But there's no doubt about it in my mind that the Raiders are going to get a quarterback in this year's draft. No doubt about it. I think it's probably a 80% chance we get a quarterback in this year's draft. Actually, I'll go with 90% that we'll get an a rookie quarterback. And I'm cool with the guy sitting behind what we got for a couple games, seeing how it goes, him picking up the system, getting everything situated, or even getting somebody like Jaden Daniels that can instantly come in and become a starter. Regardless of it, the Raiders are a threat now. And what I would say is that we're a dark horse team because we don't know what Raiders we're going to get, but we do know that we're better than last year. How much better is only going to be determined on the field once it's time. And shout out to Al's Goals. Good to see you, man. But I will say one thing about what I have been seeing recently. There have been more people showing up at these practices than ever before. It's only voluntary practice. Y'all remember last year we had a couple players that didn't even show up at all. Some new free agents didn't even sign up. Go in. Josh Jacobs was one of them that didn't even go. But what I seen in all the photos that were taken in the facility when it came to the voluntary stuff, everybody was pretty much there. The only person I did not see was Devontae Adams. That was the only one. Which don't scream and shout and be like, oh my God, what's going on? He's gonna be there. He's going to be there. But everybody was pretty much there. Everyone from Jack Jones to Christian Wilkinson to even all of our quarterback. Gardner Minshew was there. AOC was there. Byron, everybody was there. So that's good to see there, right? It's good to see these guys putting in the work and all these stuff. So I'm glad that everybody's coming out here and putting their full effort, Artie.
And let me say this. And this is where I'm at in regards to where the Raiders are. I think I'm more comfortable or more okay with the way things are going right now because I noticed where we were and where we're going. I think, looking at where we placed in the division, we're set. I've been noticing a lot of people have been very. It seems like they're scared and worried about something, and I don't think there's a need to be worried about where we are. We're second in the division. and the only team that's second, the only team that's on top of us in the division is a team that we beat. So I don't, I don't, I'm not scared. I'm not worried about who Herbert or Patrick Mahomes in our division because Herbert, we beat Herbert. Herbert's under us in the division. You know what I'm saying? We beat Patrick Mahomes, who's above us in the division. So I maybe I'm more confident in the Raiders than some, but I think some of us need to be more confident in this team. We were second in the division, and the only team that beat us in the division, you know what I'm saying, is a team that we again under
Yeah.
Coach AP we handled it. So and we know that's going to be improved. So
Facts.
let's be confident in our guys.
Yeah.
I think we're in a good place.
And shout out to Chappie Boss. I'm telling you guys, I honestly feel Minshew's gonna ball out trash talking. A mother gonna back it up. Just a solid feeling. We may just get Jordan Travis later in the draft. Who knows? That's a fact, man. Who knows? And here's the thing with Gardner Minshew, right? And it kind of comes down to what Big says. We're not gonna bank on Minshew playing all 17 games, y'all. Let's just throw that out there. I could probably guarantee 110% that Minshew is not going to play all 17 games. 100%. He may come in for a game or two. God forbid anything happen to other quarterbacks or anything, or he wins the starting spot and then the rookie or AOC takes over later on. But I do think that Minshew is not going to start every single game, 17 games. We're not banking on him to become the starter the whole season, but we are banking on him to come in as a veteran, spare some knowledge, learn the playbook, and win us some games if we need them, right? And I would have confidence in them more than Jimmy Garoppolo coming in, right? So that's the thing with that, and I will guarantee that he won't play all 17 games. So that's the good thing, right? Shout out to Circus in the building. What up, Circus? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Good to see you. Salute, salute. Shout out to Al Ghost in the building. Al's Ghost was good. Go ahead.
This organization is doing what we should have did a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? And Minshew is literally the bridge for whoever our future quarterback is, whether it be Aiton O'Connell, whether it's a guy that we drafted. What we should have done years ago when we had Derek Carr was actually had somebody come behind him in place. You know what I'm saying? So when it was time to move on from Derek Carr, that next quarterback was already intact and with the roster. We failed to do that. So that's why we have a situation where we have a Minshew coming in for a year or whatever the situation may be to figure out who it is that is going to be our starter. But until then, at least we have the insurance policy, which is Gardner Minshew.
Facts. Shout out to Circus Radio says the answer is in front of us. Fuaga in the first and Ewers in the second. Big money gang moves. Hey, I like Fuaga, man. I will agree with you with the Fuaga. Ewers, I'm not sure you feel me. But I will say that Fuaga has been my number one tackle. And some people may say, a lot of people were actually telling me and asking me, like, why don't I like Fashanu or why don't I like Joel and why don't I like the. I do like them. I've talked about Joel before, but the problem is that they're a left tackle, and I'm not a big fan of switching somebody from the left tackle to right tackle. So for me personally, I would stick with JC Latham and Fuaga, but Fuaga's my number one personally. Some people have JC Latham over him, but me, I have Fuaga over him because I think Fuaga fits us. Not only that, a future right tackle, young guy, all these different components, has all the abilities to go at the next level, and we won't have to worry about the right tackle spot because this ain't a Luminor. So, yeah, there you go. There you go.
Thank God.
Shout out to Chappie Boss, though. Who's excited for next week, dogs? Let's hear it. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Thursday in a week from now, y'all. A week from now, the NFL draft is underway, and I'm actually excited as hell, nervous as hell. I ain't gonna lie. I'm either gonna, if you watch WWE ever in your lifetime, WWE, I'm gonna swanton bomb on a table full of barbed wire if we do something dumb. And that's probably what's gonna happen, bro. And I will record it.
But you know, Eric. I think to be honest with you, some of us are going to be mad because it's not specifically the person, but I think the people that are going to get drafted, we're gonna look at him like, okay, that makes sense. That makes
Mm,
sense. Okay, I wasn't thinking that, but that makes sense. And I
mm,
maybe I'm too high on Telesco because he hasn't drafted for us,
yeah.
but just his track record. You know what I'm saying? It shows that like what he does in the draft. It may not be the specific name, but overall for the overall team, it makes sense.
Facts. And let me let me give you some names that Tom Telesco has drafted as a general manager for the Chargers specifically, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea. So in 2013, there, actually, hold on, give me a second. Here we go. 2013, he had people like Keenan Allen, right at the number three in the third round, stuff like that. Uh, moving on in 2020, I mean, in 2014, he had Jason Verrett, right? Which was a pretty good cornerback in the beginning, right? Um, I'm just getting some notable names for you guys. Joey Bosa in 2016 at the number one pick, then Hunter Henry at number two. In the second round, I mean, but that's what I mean. And then he was the one that drafted Jerry Tillery, right? Nasir Adderley, the safety. Some people there, Drew Tranquil, the linebacker in the fourth round. And 2021, he had Rashawn Slater, a future tackle, by the way, for them in 2021. Asante Samuel Jr. in the second round, Joshua Palmer, some names there. And then in 2022, he had some people like Zion Johnson, Isaiah Spiller, Jameer Sellier, JT Woods, some names, some notable names there. So as you can see, he has a little bit of a record of hitting on some picks. Other ones he didn't really hit, but he's been majority in the first few rounds really good. And who's good in the later rounds, y'all? Champ Kelly. Who's good at acknowledging players that are Raiders and stuff like that? Antonio Pierce. Who's a head coach that built one of the best defenses and has that experience and has worked with some of the best players in recent time? Marvin Lewis. If you think for a second the Raiders are gonna reach this time, I highly doubt it. And if they reach, I swear I'm probably I will never predict anything else because I don't see a possibility of reaching at all. Just based on the staff that we have, the organization we have right now, and all those different things. Um, Shout out to everybody coming in. The Raul09. Can Minshew be the next Gannon? No. But I will say Minshew will win you a couple games and stuff like that. But I will say Minshew is a pretty decent quarterback. He's not horrible and he's not excellent, right? But shout out to you. Good to see you, man. Raider Rebel was good, man. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Minshew's the Band-Aid AP said he didn't want any more Band-Aids. Yeah, I don't think I know he said he doesn't want band-aids at quarterback, and it's interesting that you brought in Gardner Minshew. He doesn't see him as a band-aid. Actually, and there you go. Exactly what Raider Red Bull said right there. No more mock draft. I'll give my final mock draft prediction on Wednesday, y'all, next week. I'm gonna do it like a little bit of a YouTube short there for you guys, man. Van Ronen next out the door. Fuaga at 13. They trade back into the first round for Pennick, looking good at this point. Vikings going to sell their farm and their mamas to get ahead of anyone trying to trade up, in my opinion. Hey, I get that, man. Who's good at spreading misinformation? Circus Schefter. God damn, Circus. I like Tyree's upside, but hypothetically speaking, Atlanta needs a defensive end. We trade Tyree in a third pick for the eighth, either take Fuaga and Penix 13er package and move up. Well, I will say anything is possible, but I will say that right there is a 10% chance of that happening. They're not going to get rid of Tyree. Tyree has been putting in the work. Max Crosby likes Tyree. Everybody, Malcolm Kuntz likes Tyree. They like the work that he's been putting in. So, for my opinion, I think we're keeping Tyree Wilson, man. With all the moves possibly happening, does anyone besides myself see a possibility where a Dunze falls to 6 or 7 at the Raiders make a move to get a receiver? Dia will be 32 next year with 34 million. I still feel like Devontae Adams might restructure. I still feel a part of me. But then again, I don't think they're going to go for a receiver in the first round just because I think they're going to go more for a third, fourth, fifth round guy. I think they're really set on Trey Tucker and Devontae and Jacoby Myers, and I think they'll even bring in another veteran wide receiver coming in, right? So in my opinion, I really do feel like um, that's like a 2% chance of happening. Still a possibility, but a very small, slim chance. Um, like a Duze a ton, but doubtful Raiders take wide receiver in round 1. That's my same thinking right there. That is my exact thinking right there. Um, but we gotta see, right? Obviously, and it looks like Twuan's home now. That's good. That's good, Twuan. Man, you made it. Y'all made it.
Yeah.
But shout out to everybody coming in, man. I see 0 trades happening. I predicted 2 weeks ago, I believe, on this same show. I said 2 second-round picks. I think we're gonna end up with 2 second-round picks. I think they will move up in the second and get another second. I think that's my prediction, like a little bit of a hot take. I think that's what will happen. I do think at least one trade will happen with the Raiders. I think Tom Telesco is an aggressive guy, and you've seen it in the free agency where he gave a bag to a defense that's one of the best free agents out there. So I think he's one of those guys, right? I think he's one of those guys that if the chance is there to get better, he will take it. Whether that's Jada Daniels or somebody else, he's willing to take it and talk to Antonio Pierce and say, hey, what you think of this guy? Hey, I think he's a Raider. I think he'll fit us. Or, hey, I don't think he's a Raider. I don't think he's good here, blah, 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 right? I
Yeah.
think Brock Bowers goes to Jim Harbaugh, yo. I think Brock Bowers goes to Jim.
Yeah. I think, in regards to Tom Telesco and him getting players, I think if he really knows that that's a guy that's a real solid piece to the team, he'll do what he can do to go get him. I think in regards to the Christian Wilkins situation, we knew that we needed a D tackle. You know what I'm saying? And when you looked at free agency, he was the best D tackle, you know what I'm saying, that was available, and he was like, hey, gotta go get him. So he was able to do that. But he's also even with that, you think, oh yeah, Christian Wilkins, he got the bag. Yeah, but that was the market. You know what I'm saying, for a guy like that. And we inked him in his early stages. You know what I'm saying? We didn't sign a old veteran to come in here and get it done. He's young. There's still a whole lot of room for growth. He can also, grow with, what I'm saying, Max Crosby for years to come. So that it fits on so many levels. And I think Telesco looks at all those facets in his selection process. So I'm happy about that. And as Eric said, in regards to the players of the Chargers that he signed, you can see like all those guys he talked about, like those guys, they produced, what I'm saying, whether they were a first round pick, a second round pick, whatever, they got busy, what I'm saying. They were names that we all knew, what I'm saying, if you follow the NFL. So I'm looking forward to him adding that to this roster, because this roster definitely needs it. That's the other question that we could ask is, when's the last time we drafted well? You
Yeah.
know, and this might be the year. This possibly might be the year.
Facts. And everybody, hey, hit that like button. I see more people coming in, man. We got 45 plus in here. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, man. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Help the algorithm. It's free and all of that, man. And also, after this live, go check out the YouTube shorts I've dropped. I'm practicing some editing skills, you feel me? So go over there, let down the comments. I kind of talked about this whole tweet right here earlier about the possibilities and what it means. And then also some videos are out there as well. I see some people coming in, man. Shout out to everyone. Some people new as well. Shout out to Jeffrey. He says, "Get Xavier legit at pick 44." Oh, the South Carolina boy, man. A 50-50 ball getter, contested catch, merchant, 6'1" guy. Hey, that's a guy that I'm all for, right? That's a guy in the third round you could get. I think third round around there. I think he could fall to the third round. I think he would be around there. He's a very, very good. He would be a very good backup, right? A red zone threat, stuff like that. He needs to work a little bit on his footwork and stuff like that. Some things I've seen, he could sometimes be bad off the line, but those are all teachable. And the more practice with some NFL coaching, he will get better. But he is a pretty much sleeper, you could say, in the third round range, in my opinion. Day 2 guy, day 3 maybe, in some cases. But hey, I'm all for that, man. I don't think I picked 44, but I do think he'll be there later on. Though.
That wide receiver out of South Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy. When I looked at the tape, that was one of the guys that I was like, man, he's huge. And when I went to go look at his measurables, I'm like, oh, he's only like what 6'2", like he plays like he's like a 6'4", or you know what I'm saying, like he plays like he's a whole lot taller than what he is. You know what I'm saying? He's a go get it wide receiver, definitely somebody to look at, that could possibly be, could groom into a number one, but he definitely could be definitely a number two for somebody's team.
Yeah. And speaking of South Carolina, of course, Ocean American Bully here. He says, "How would rather work with the Raiders quarterback? Rather somebody that I haven't personally been a fan of. For the Raiders specifically, I don't think he'll fit us. He's a guy that obviously was the guy throwing to Xavier, right? Both in South Carolina, stuff like that. I mean, he had a decent overall season, right? Showed levels of accuracy and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's a guy that I just don't see coming to Raiders, man, and that we'll even have our eye on him. Um, you feel me? He's not the best of quarterbacks in my opinion in this year's draft, but I will say that he's a for sure backup somewhere. He's a for sure backup somewhere in the day three type range, or even late day two. But I do think early day three is probably where Rattler would be, or maybe middle day three, in my opinion. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. I see a couple new faces, man. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you like the content, man. It's like 2 second round picks would be best scenario for Raiders. That's what I'm thinking, right? The Raiders moved up to get Darius Hayward Bay, and they also moved up to get Amari Cooper. They did. You know what? That is facts. But I just don't see a possibility of us going wide receiver this year, man. I really don't. Um, Shout out to everybody coming in, man. I appreciate everybody coming in. Priority number one, quarterback. Ain't nobody can convince me otherwise. We don't have a quarterback on the roster that could take us where we want to go. I will say that as of right now, we don't have a guy that would probably take us to the Super Bowl. But I will say we got guys that would win us games, and that if they reach their potential, specifically AOC, if he could reach his potential, will be a really good playoff contender on the offense side of the ball too. That's for damn for sure. Okay, salute to everybody, man. Braylon Allen, running back, Wisconsin, day three pick, man. Shout out to True Raider. I like Braylon Allen. I talked about Braylon Allen before. He's been a guy that I think I have him at my number three running back. I think I have him at my number three. I have to go look at my notes, but at number three, in my opinion. Um, Obviously, the running back this year, the running back draft pretty much the group. Um, there's not really anybody. Well, I wouldn't say anybody, but I would say it's not like years before where there was like at least 5 running backs that we know. Damn, 3 of them could get picked in the first round, 2 others could get picked in the second. It's more of second round, third round, fourth round guys that are all across the board on this running back room right here.
Yeah, if you drop a running back in the first round, you're definitely reaching.
Yeah.
I think the guy, and I think the guy that's leading the top of that is like Trey Benson or somebody like that. Um, but yeah, if you're getting him in the first round, you're you're reaching.
Mhm. Shout out to Tupo. What's good? Good to see you, man. Salute to you. Good to see everybody coming in, man. I appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, man. I appreciate everybody coming in, man. I see a lot of familiar faces too, man. I appreciate you guys being here. Blessings. Yeah, I think protecting the quarterback is one of the most important things. Our coaching staff has praised it. The trenches. It always starts in the trenches. And the trenches make everybody else behind them better. Offensive line makes everybody better. Quarterback, wide receiver, running back, all those different things. And then on the defense side about defensive line, a good defensive line that gets constant pressure will help the cornerbacks, will help the safeties, will help the linebackers, will even help the people that are just around in general. It'll make everybody's life a lot easier. So, some things to look at. Let me see. Shout out to everybody, man. Which linebacker would you pick? Oh, you have any linebackers in mind before I go?
Oh,
It's tough this year. It's tough this year.
yeah, because they're like and running back is like, how can I explain it? Like they're all different. You know what I'm saying? Like you have your I like Jeremiah Trotter, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, out of Clemson. Um he's more of a I would say he's more like a middle linebacker ish. Like he could slide into that, you know what I'm saying, kind of, you know, but yeah, like there's a whole bunch of them like Cedric Gray. Um and there's a lot of people that are on. I think it's Peyton Wilson or something like that.
Yeah.
I always get their names wrong, but he's more like the coverage linebacker, um, speedy guy. But yeah, I
Hmm.
I like Jeremiah Trotter out of all of those guys. To be honest with you.
I feel that, man. I'm leaning towards other positions in the first, second, third round. In my opinion, I think a linebacker until fourth, fifth, sixth round. I do like a lot of these linebackers though. You name some of them like Cedric Gray, stuff like that, Trotter. And Jaren Cooper. I see you guys saying there. That's another one, right? I kind of talked about this a week ago. I still need to post the YouTube short of it, but I like Michael Barrett from Michigan, a guy that would be there in day three, late day three. That type of guy that has a lot of potential that wouldn't cost you a first, second, or third. Just
Mm-mm.
because I feel like we might go linebacker later. I'm just thinking of it from that viewpoint. I like Tyron Hooper from Missouri. That's another one I like, and then Nathaniel Watson from Mississippi State. Those are a couple guys that I kind of have my eye on in the later rounds. At the end of the day, but like I said, I like the top linebackers, right? I like Jaren Cooper. I like Cedric Gray. I like all these guys that are pretty good linebackers, man, but they would be there in the second round. I think there's not going to be a linebacker chosen until late first or early second. I think that's the range I would see a linebacker go. But at the end of the day, those are some guys that I have my eye on there as far as that goes, right? Shout out to everybody in here, man. Hope all is well. We may not have a stud quarterback to take us to promised land, but we will have a solid team to make a great run at it. Just win, baby, man. There you go. That's all it's about. Peyton Willis, 100%, not even a question. Best linebacker in the draft. Hey, speaking facts, man. Speaking facts. Jaren Cooper, there you go. He says Jaren Cooper. Salute Raider Nation, man. Salute to you. I like Dejon Edwards, running back Georgia, pair with Zeus, maybe in the sixth or seventh round. Really like running back Dylan Johnson, late round out of Washington. Those are two good choices. I have other people that I would rather go, but obviously Dejon Edwards from Georgia is another guy that, like you said, late round guy. Pretty much has a very good upside, man. Especially in a running back by committee. That it happens to be that the Raiders are running back by committee. Very good pass catching ability and all those things, man. So I would not doubt it if they look at a guy like that. But I will say um, that when I look at these running backs, I look at people that could complement these other running backs, not to come in here and be a power back and be the starting running back. That's not what I'm looking for. And I don't think that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody that can help this running back by committee. And you named a couple there, man, that could be in that rotation. I was thinking of Jalen Wright from Tennessee, though. That was a guy that I had on my list. And you feel me? There's a couple others out there as well. Raider Big says Quinion Mitchell or Terrion Arnold. Twuan, what you think out of them?
Mm.
I got Quinion Mitchell. I got Mitchell. I got Mitchell, bro.
I like I like the small school brother. You know what I'm saying? I like, a lot of people have been talking about Terry and Arnold, and I think that he might be the consensus as maybe the top corner, but I think Quinion Mitchell has something that fits the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? I think putting Quinion Mitchell, you know what I'm saying, with Jack Jones and I call him Jackum Jones, but Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs, I think that would be something to definitely to look at, especially how he played.
Yeah.
What stuck out to me was in the Senior Bowl where you
Yeah.
saw, he was literally running There were certain times where it looked like he was literally running the wide receivers routes. You know what I'm saying? And when you have someone like that, along with you know, just picture that along with someone like Jack Jones that can teach him how to really break down tape. You know what I'm saying? That would even make him an even more dangerous corner. So yeah, Quinion Mitchell for the Raiders is who I would pick over Arnold. Be honest with you.
Yeah, same. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Um, True Raider says, "Hey, I'm a size 11 in shoes, Twan."
Okay. Well, hey, make sure you subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
We are on. I know what that's why he said it. But
yeah.
we're on the march for 500 subscribers and a lucky subscriber. If we get it by week one, again, week one, we got to get to 500 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, quit playing with yourself because you can also be in the raffle or running for a pair of black Air Forces. So a lucky subscriber will get that if we hit that mark. So I'll mark down that you're a size 11, but you still got to be that lucky subscriber.
There you go, Black Air Force Ones, y'all. Y'all know you walk in those Black Air Force Ones, they're gonna be scared of you. You feel me? So go over there, go subscribe to my boy RaiderTwuan, man. The other half of the 2 for 1 Nation podcast, and it's also in the description. The YouTube link is down there, so please go subscribe. Get them to
Yes,
500,
sir.
and go win yourself some shoes. Come on, bro. It's some free shoes that you could win, bro. And it doesn't cost nothing. You just subscribe. Just subscribe, support. That's all you need to do. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. I appreciate everybody coming in, man. Slowly but surely, man. Shout out to Freight Train. What's good, Freight Train? All I says, SC likes Kool-Aid, the player and the drink. Kool-Aid McKinstry, I do like him better than Terrion Arnold. I do. The other Alabama corner. And I do like the drink. I do like the drink. I will say that. I do like the drink.
Hey, no disrespect to Terry and all. What I'm about to say might tear him down a little bit. But do you think who has more dog? Who has more dog? Kool-Aid or Terry?
As far as a dog, like a dog,
Yeah.
I think Kool-Aid, bro. I think Kool-Aid, bro. I think 100% Kool-Aid, bro. Nothing against Terrion Arnold, though.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do think Kool-Aid is better. Just, you feel me? That's what I've seen film-wise, game-wise, stuff like that. But hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, man. I like
But
both corners at the end of the day.
that's the question and that's the battle, right? We failed on that a couple of years back where we had, what I'm saying, we picked out of the two corners, out of Jeff Okuda and Damian Arnett, we picked Damian Arnett. You know what I'm saying? But that's the risk that you take when you have two corners that are actually good. You don't know which one is really the guy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you ask me who's the dog, I agree with you. I think I think Kool-Aid has a little more dog in him.
Shout out to everybody, man. You already know, man. Nutty Raider Nate, what's good, man? You already know, man. Okay, every day, man. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to Avakazi, the boy from down under. What's good, Avakazi, man? I can't wait to see you. Hey, I can't wait to see them boys over there try them Australian snacks because everybody knows my story. Oh, what I have connection to Australia, man. Got myself a little thing from down under, you feel me? So shout out to you, man. I can't wait to see that. But shout out to everybody coming in, man. Every content creator that's in the chat, see Raider Rebel, one up and coming, man. Shout out to everybody out here, man, supports and stuff like that, man. And I try to do my best to go support y'all. I know sometimes I don't be in lives, but that's because I be busy later on. But I'm gonna try my best to get to everybody, man, and collab with a lot of you guys because I haven't collabed with anybody really besides Twuan. But I'm gonna get on that soon. I'm gonna hit up a couple people. Collab by next week. Hopefully Tuesday I have a special guest, and then obviously I want to see what I do for the draft because I still don't know. I still don't know what I'm gonna do, but most likely I will be live for day 2, day 3. Hopefully, we will see though. So stay tuned for that. Obviously,
Eric out there putting the shrimp on Barbie.
Yeah, what's good, man? Doppelganger, what's good? Good to see you, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Yes, Alfredo. Yes, yes. Mitchell is just bigger, stronger, faster. Doesn't take as many chances as shutdown guy, and doesn't get as many fast facts, man. He said SC loves the land down under so much that his favorite movie is Kangaroo Jack. Type shit. God damn. Shout out to everybody, man. And I think also, actually, I forgot about that, man. I think it's Avakazi's birthday too, man. Happy birthday
Oh,
to
what?
Avakazi. I think it's his birthday today, or it was yesterday. It's one of them. I know in Australia they're a day ahead of us. But happy birthday, Avakazi. If you're still in the chat,
Yeah.
brother. Blessings upon blessings, bro. Thanks for all your support and stuff like that, man. So happy birthday once again, man. To my fellow brother from down under, man. It was good. Good to see you here, though, man. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed it, man. Eric went to the
Yeah.
Outback to get some.
Yeah.
Hey, you feel
Yeah.
me? I couldn't. Hey, my personal opinion, I couldn't deal with Americans no more, bro. I just couldn't. I just couldn't no
Yeah.
more. I was done.
Yeah.
I went
I put,
international.
yeah, I hope Afakasi put his shrimp on a Barbie. You know what I'm saying?
Tight stuff. But shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate everybody that came on by, man. We had a good, solid people here. I know my last live, which was Tuesday, there was a lot of technical difficulties with YouTube, bro. And I hate that it happened when I went live because it was saying that I had 0 viewers when there were so many people in the chat and all this stuff. YouTube was tripping. People were said that they were unsubscribed because I don't know what the hell was going on. Aussie girls love Americans. Hey, I'll tell you that. She's loving American. She's loving this American. I'll tell you that. Vegemite cupcakes for everyone. Shout out to everybody, man. Everybody, man. Shout out to Avakazi, man. Good to see you, baby. A dingo ate your baby. Not many people get that joke. I don't even get that joke. I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably Avakazi gets it, but I don't know what the hell. Trying to relax, smoke a little trees before I make more content. That's good, man. That's good. That's good. That's good right there, man. That's good to see, man. Keep grinding, everybody, man. Hey. The grind's real right now for all of us, man.
Yeah.
He said ding. I don't know what the hell Avakazi just said in the chat, but whatever that is, I'm not gonna repeat it because it may be something bad or I don't know what the
have us canceled for some.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't want to get canceled. Say something, bro.
You offend the whole continent of Australia
I know, right?
with this comment.
Kev, that is crazy. I'm not gonna say that out loud. Cool, Kev. That is crazy.
Cool Kev is over there texting with his toes.
Spreading the nation every day. You already know what it is, man. Love everything, man. We're one at the end of the day, man. As many times as people, feel me. Any fallouts I had on the past, stuff like that, man, it don't matter. 2024 is a new season, a season of positivity and talking about the Raiders, man, and what we all love and die for, which is the Raiders and the Shield and everything, man. So, yeah. Some news that broke out, if you guys missed it, we had some Ian Rappaport stuff, man, that had to do with the Patriots GM and Commanders GM. The Commanders GM said that they're not pretty much open, that they're going to stay at number 2 most likely because they don't see any possibility of trading down. And the Patriots general manager said that all their picks is on the board and that the number 3 pick is open for business, meaning also, they would be comfortable with getting one of the top 4 quarterbacks, which is surprising that it's not 3. They said top 4. So that could be a J.J. McCarthy. That could be a Bo Nix in the mix for the Patriots. But at the end of the day, that's some important news there as far as that goes. He said, you ignoring motherfuckers. I love it. You already know what it is, man. But shout out to everybody, man. Blessings to you guys, your families. Hey, Twuan, let them know where they can find you. Videos coming up, shorts, lives, whatever you got.
Man, RaiderTwuan, quit playing with yourself. Go ahead and subscribe. Okay, I already said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. We on our way to 500 by week 1. You know what I'm saying? If you get us there, somebody's getting some new shoes. All right, so come on over and subscribe and join. Again, personally is the best chat that YouTube has to offer, and that is the congregation. Shout out to y'all, congregation, for keeping it Twanish. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
Eat your brown crackers.
Facts, man. And shout out to everybody that came over here, man. Whether you're on my channel or RaiderTwuan's channel, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button for the both of us. Hit that like button, man, for more Raider content. I'm trying to do my best to do daily content, man. So far, I have been doing it, right? Dropped the YouTube short Monday, Tuesday. Did a live Tuesday, dropped the YouTube short Wednesday, and today I dropped the YouTube short and Thursday. And I'm also doing, if you guys didn't see, I'm starting to edit, not just press conferences getting put out there with captions and or maybe me speaking behind the camera in captions. It also has edits of videos to put on your screen. So please, please, please go check them out. I dropped one today, man, about me talking about what happened today with Ian Rappaport. So if you guys can, go hit that like button and go comment on that YouTube short if you guys would trade up for Jaden Daniels or not, or if you would stay at 13. And today as well, y'all, what's it called? After the live, go comment on both of our lives, man, to help push the algorithm, and we'll get to you as well. Avakazi says, you guys know the Dingo Ate My Baby was from an actress, Meryl Streep, who is, guess what, an American. Well, I go lie to you, I hardly watch movies recently, so yo, I don't know nothing, but I'm uncultured sometimes, you feel me? But shout out to everybody, man. Blessings to you guys and families. The next live for me is on Tuesday, but stay tuned for daily content. Also, Instagram is gonna start popping. I'm gonna start posting some reels on that too. So go over there and go hit that follow button on the Instagram. And on Twitter, I'm not gonna be active until the beginning of the season. So when I'm watching a Raider game, I could tweet about something. Oh, why did he pass that? Or what did he do? Or good job there, or something like that. So if you guys want, you guys can follow my Twitter right now. But I would say wait. But shout out to everybody, man. Ray Love in the building. What's good, Ray Love? And everybody coming in, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, man, and all that. It's an old movie. Well, that means that I wasn't born. That's pretty much what it was. But, so stay tuned for all.
I don't watch movies. I make them.
Hey, shout out to SC. Probably wasn't born when the movie came out. That's what I'm saying, right? But shout out to everybody that came in, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. Tough to never lies, but tell people doing yours also tell people, man. Life is too short, so tell your loved ones you love them. And anything else you want to say to them before we head on out here?
Hey, your blessing be a blessing to someone else.
There you go. And Circus, yes, I do watch movies, but not as much recently. I've been watching more shows recently from Netflix and stuff like that. I've been watching more shows recently. So shout out to you guys, man. I'll see you guys Tuesday. You'll see me on some lives. I'm probably gonna pop up to Avakazi's live later because I want to check that out, see how they go about it. I haven't tried any Australian snacks yet or anything. I'm gonna try them soon. You feel me? I already tried one, but we don't gotta get into that. But shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate you guys there for me, man. Peace, Raider Nation.
I caught that one hella late.
You got that one hella late. And on that note, y'all already know.
I caught that one hella late.
Facts. You guys already know what it is, man. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.
Blessings.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure.